don't mind, just don't screw this up or you'll ruin all of our careers. So, David?
My whole life, yes.
Yeah. So, David, my notes tell me you play a superhero, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Echo, according to my notes, you've played Sheila on He-Man. Is that true?
She-Ra.
She-Ra. What'd I say?
Sheila.
That's the Australian version of She-Ra. Know what I mean?
She-Ra, yes.
Yeah, She-Ra, yes. That's...
So today is about it's not about the actors, or the characters, really. It's about the men behind the women. So there's one thing I know about a comic book crowd, and that's fitness is the most important thing in your life. So we're going to take a deep dive into the realm of the fitness and health of David and Echo.
That's right.
So you guys are two very fit guys, if I don't say so myself.
One of us, definitely.
Well, both of us are.
I think David holds his own, though, which is...
You know.
So, y'all have some muscle on you, and you know, the most impressive part of your physiques that I'd like to address first. So we dive in. Echo, how do you get your hair so muscular?
I've been using muscle milk. I just pour it on top of my hair, and it really, a lot of protein and stuff like that. So, because that's why I stand it straight up, because it's so strong.
Like whites?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How jealous are you of my hair?
Very jealous. I didn't get an applause for my hair to start out. So.
Cherry, come on! Make the guy feel better.
Yes. It's hard for a black dude to rock a mohawk, people. Thank you. Thank you.
There's another elephant in the room that has everything to do with fitness. And let me finish before you run out. I'm racist.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I hate white people. I get it from my grandfather. My therapist says I'm conflicted. She told me that. I told her she's projecting. She told me I'm a narcissist. And then I told her she's fired. So I don't know. I don't need therapy anymore. And I think everybody wants to know, David, how do you feel about that?
I think I'm going to need therapy after this. Thank you.
Did she say abs or ass?
Yes.
I don't know which one. What was it?
Either one, both very nice.
Both, thank you. I might need both.
Therapy. You can't spell therapy without the. It's true.
That is true. You can.
So now that we've covered the important part, the rest of this conversation is just going to be filler. So, David, you're a strapping young man, as my grandmother would say.
Thank you.
What does fitness mean to you in your life and your profession?
Well, as you know, I play a superhero on television.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's important to kind of have John Diggle, who's the character I play on television, look a certain way. They're fans of the show.
Oh, you have a show?
Yeah.
Oh, high five, high five. He's got a show.
Yeah. And so I guess to me, I was always into fitness. I'm a martial artist. I've been doing it for over 20 years.
If you're trying to intimidate me, it's not going to work.
And so it was always important, but I think it upped the notch for me when I met Stephen. When I met Stephen Amell, I think. When I first met Stephen, it was, he plays Arrow on the show. He's the lead of the show. And
Did you say Arrow?
Arrow, yes.
How
yes.
is that?
It's a TV show.
It's not Superman, though.
No. Though it's better. When I first met Steven in season 1 of Arrow, he still is an incredible specimen, but in season 1, it was just like, are you serious? I'm playing his bodyguard? It was like that. So I was like, I gotta hit the gym, like really hard. So I did, and in a very short amount of time, I became much bigger than Steven. So, I don't know if that answers your question, but fitness is clearly connected to my narcissism.
Yeah. And you can't spell narcissism without nar. But yeah, David, that was a great answer, and I'd also like to congratulate you on having the longest answer I've ever heard in my life. Just a water bottle. I'm pleased to see all of it's just a water bottle. Echo, how lonely are you feeling at this point in the conversation?
Yeah, I haven't spoken in 5 minutes, so I'm feeling pretty left out.
So David, I'd like to ask you, there's rumors, and I know not all rumors are true, but some are. I've been hearing rumors that you have bicep implants. Is that true?
Echo started this rumor,
I did?
and it is not true.
Gotcha.
How do I show that you don't
Does
have
anyone have a needle that I can pop into his bicep? I will prove it.
Yeah. By the way,
Where's the detective?
heroin doesn't make your muscles grow.
It's a good
Children do not use drugs.
point. To make your muscles grow. Don't do that.
Yeah. Adults can use a lot of drugs, but children, just the dosages just aren't right. By the way, you can bring the lawsuits to fanfest.com, not against me specifically, which is great. A limited liability company or whatever. So we've all got our legs crossed because we're in rapport with each other.
That one made me nervous. I don't know why.
But see, I'm doing right over left. You guys are doing left over right. What does that say?
What I heard you say, Echo, is that you're still lonely and want attention from the audience.
I do.
Let's
Give it up one more time for my hair. One more time for my hair. That's
That was
better.
awesome.
That's better.
This is going pretty good so far.
I feel good.
Yeah. Moving along. Echo, do you work out?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you know, when I first met David,
Just what question are you answering? I want to follow along.
I'm asking the second do you to do our workout. And I met David and Steven, and they were both jacked, beyond reproach, and I thought I needed to get in the gym too. And one time David hugged me and it hurt me, and I was like, never again. So I started hitting the gym, and now I'm boxing, doing Muay Thai, and just trying to put on those real biceps, guys. Yeah.
Echo Kellum plays on our show a wonderful character called Mr. Terrific.
Oh, that's terrific.
Splatter of applause.
Yeah, 3 people were like, great. Yeah, whatever. I haven't seen them.
Mr. Phenomenal has another question for you guys.
Okay.
Got a little bit from Mr. Terrific. Echo,
Yes.
what do you think David thinks about CrossFit?
I think David is a fan of CrossFit. I think he would probably kill it if he was doing CrossFit.
Wow, that's a compliment. It really is. David, do you CrossFit?
No, I don't.
God damn it.
I don't CrossFit. I've always been interested in CrossFit. I have a lot of CrossFit friends. CrossFit is a great community, and I've been to some of their classes, and it's a great exercise regimen, but I never really got into it. I'm a real old school type of guy. I just kind of hit the weights and do martial arts, and I kind of pyramid up on the waist, do a little bit of cardio, and eat right. It's just kind of an old kind of school workout plan.
I've been doing old school steroids to try to get jacked.
Children do not do drugs.
Parents do drugs.
We're making progress here. I think we're all growing, at least a lot, maybe a little bit significantly. David?
Yes.
What do you think about what Echo thinks about you doing CrossFit?
Well, I think Echo thinks that I would probably be great at CrossFit, but I don't.
We're going to get to the bottom of something.
Yeah.
Why do you think he thinks that about you?
Because I think he has an idea of what a CrossFit body looks like, and he thinks my body looks like a CrossFit body.
And Echo, why are you so obsessed with CrossFit bodies?
I'm not obsessed with the CrossFit body. I just have an opinion on what they look like.
First step to get better is admission of your problem. You have a problem.
You do?
I mean, I'm following a couple CrossFit people on Instagram and Twitter. I don't think that's weird or a problem.
I think your first problem is that your legs are crossed wrong.
Wow. David,
See, I do a wider cross just to differentiate from us.
What I heard him say is he's insecure. But David, so far I think this intervention that we've staged on Echo is going decent.
I think you're right.
Y'all tricked me into a panel as an intervention.
That's correct.
And we're doing it because we care. We don't want what's easiest for you. We want what's best for you.
I appreciate that.
Next question. Echo, now that you're cured, may I ask David a question?
Yeah, you can ask me a question, sure.
So David, we've learned that you're a CrossFit fanatic. We've learned that you do steroids, not as a kid, and as an adult. You have implants. What's your diet like?
Well, it's funny, because if I have to do a photo shoot or take off my shirt for Aero, then my diet kind of changes a little bit. But besides that, I try to eat around 4,500 calories, 4,000 calories a day. That's a lot. That's a lot of eating. It's a lot of eating. But I do eat. What they do on Aero, and Stephen will attest to this, they'll tell us a week in advance if we have to take our shirts off. And we try to stay, honestly, this is real knowledge for Aero fans out there. We try to stay a week out of shirtless shape, so to speak. And that's a real thing on the show.
So when you have to take your shirt off for the show, you stay a week out. What about when you have to take your pants off for the show? Let's explore that. I feel like we're about to make a break for. How does that feel for you, David? Hearing all these lovely guys cheering for your pants to come off.
That's funny.
I'm not sure how I feel right now. Just not.
Notice where his hand is. It tells you. It made him happier than he's letting on, so let's just put it that way. Moving right along. David, you still haven't answered the damn question. What kind of food do you eat? We gotta eat calories. Do you eat food?
I do eat food. Eat food. Don't do steroids, children.
And can children eat food?
Yes.
Oh,
children
wonderful.
can eat food.
Children eat. Got a few.
I eat everything. I eat a lot of rice, a lot of chicken, and a lot of fish. A lot. A lot. I'm not gluten-free, though I was gluten-free for a while. I'm not that anymore. And
it's true. It's true. He's got white pants on. We'd see stains if he was otherwise telling fictional stories. I digress.
yeah, so I eat a lot of fish and chicken. I think I've said that. A lot of rice, and I try to drink. I try to lessen the alcohol intake and drink a lot of water. Though I will be drinking at Knocking Point tonight.
So what Echo is telepathically asking me to ask you, because I'm involved here a little bit, is that the paleo diet? Do you subscribe to paleo?
I don't mind paleo. Do I subscribe to it? No, I'm not against it, but I've never really tried it for myself.
So you're a die-hard paleo fanatic. Personally, what I like best about the paleo diet, it's the most sophisticated nutrition philosophy I've ever experienced. Because it's so advanced, it refuses to improve upon the wisdom of people who are so intelligent that they knew squares were the best shape to make wheels out of. So it's very wise. Echo, do you eat food?
I do. I have been since I was a kid.
Tell us about your childhood.
I grew up in the inner city of Chicago on the streets. From the hood, guys.
Wow, and what kind of food did you eat in the hood?
Honestly, when I was a kid, for real, we used to eat mayonnaise and sugar sandwiches because we literally could not afford meat. We would drink sugar water because we couldn't afford Kool-Aid or juice.
And why do you think you chose the vegan diet as a kid?
Vegans just know where it's at, I think.
Wow.
I didn't realize that the vegan diet correlates with the poor diet as well. That's good.
Yeah. So I loved your answer. David is so bored out of his mind. He's texting someone slightly more important than you.
Yeah. I got really personal and sad right there about how poor I was, but I'm glad David can answer that text. Ow! Ow! It's too strong, man.
Did you stop? Kids, violence is bad.
Parents, violence is good.
That's all true. So David,
Yes.
now that we're talking about nutrition, which superhero's body physique inspires you the most?
In the comic books, it would probably be Luke Cage. In the live-action movies, it would clearly be Hugh Jackman.
Wow.
Though Ryan Reynolds' conditioning in Green Lantern was sick.
Yeah.
Sick. But Hugh was just, the one before the most recent X-Men, Hugh Jackman was just, unbelievable.
And why do you think you're so severely sexually attracted to Hugh Jackman? I've never heard someone talk so much about Hugh Jackman's physique. We're all family here. There's no judgment, just acceptance. I don't even see genders. I don't even see species. So, you and Hugh Jackman, what's the deal?
Just a huge fan.
Echo, what did you hear David not say that he's not wanting to say?
I didn't hear him talk about how close he and Hugh are.
I can't say.
Echo, I'd like to check in with you, buddy. We've been through a lot together. David and I worry about you. How are you feeling right now in your heart?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm at Heroes Villain Fan Fest in San Jose, baby. You know, pretty chill, pretty awesome.
So, picking up where we left off, veganism. How long have you been a vegan?
Well, I gave up the vegan lifestyle once I started making money and could actually afford other foods. Yeah.
So, what we've learned so far is you have a vengeful, almost like a ravenous appetite for killing animals. Now, does that come from your childhood, your jealousy about Dave? I mean, what do you think?
I think it's a combination of both, if I'm being honest.
And if you weren't being honest, like what would you
If
say?
I'm
Like, this would
not
be more
being
interesting.
honest,
Like, honest is kind of boring. David's going to check his phone again. So if you were being... Did you text me? Whoa. Let's screenshot that.
what did he text you?
What didn't he text me? He texted me...
That was for Hugh. I'm sorry.
We're going to bleep most of that unspoken thought. So, yes. It's a family show here. What was it, vegan? Oh, the dishonest answer.
Yeah, I guess if I had to answer that, what was the question?
I don't even remember. I'm so present, I don't even acknowledge the past.
Oh yeah, I was saying that I gave up veganism, if I'm being honest, because of David and because I'm not a child anymore and I got money. And I guess my dishonest answer is I gave up veganism because I don't trust vegetables.
Yeah. I'm slightly offended. Did you know I'm a vegan?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I found my arms used to be significantly huge, but I'm thinking, okay, for this stage time, how can I make my arms at least a little smaller than Dave's? So I figured out like veganism. It works well. But a little while, do you mind if I talk about myself for a minute? You're not going to want to check your phone because this is going to be interesting. So a little while into my veganism, I started to feel something churning inside, almost like a sense of hypocrisy. And I started to realize that as a vegan, I'm made out of meat. So it was a very tough time, very emotional. Watched Oprah every day to help me move along. But then, I had a bit of an identity crisis. It became like less about an identity crisis and became a bit more of like a species identity crisis. Do you know what do you think I discovered?
I have no idea.
The movie Species?
So what I discovered is that I'm actually not made of meat. I'm a plant trapped inside of a human body. And I want you guys to acknowledge it.
It's acknowledged.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So we've covered all the bases, CrossFit, vegan, yada, 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 whatever. So I think we've reached a point really where it feels like you guys have questions about me. Like I feel this intense curiosity, like this almost like tension, not like the Hugh Jackman style tension, but more of like a family-friendly, like ambitiously curious kind of tension. I'm an open book, so what is it that you guys wanted to ask me?
Why no shoes?
I find shoes make me so ungrounded. Being half-inch off the surface of the earth, like how can you connect with the earth? I mean, for the question, that was a pretty good answer. It was a great answer for a good try of a question.
What is your workout regimen?
That's a great question. I meditate so much.
What type of flower is that in your hair?
This is an astromeria.
David's looking up your flower.
I Hugh Jackman. Wow.
Oh,
That is great. Well, we've reached a point where I'm stricken with boredom. No offense.
I didn't bring my phone. Because I have to live in a moment.
So before we close out here and do something a little more interesting with our time, you know, Google image Hugh Jackman, get Echo into rehab, I'll water my flower. I would like to acknowledge these inspirational superheroes. Their physiques are not only physical, but I think they're somehow inspirational to children, to adults, and I think the Illuminati even. It's wonderful. I've bled a little bit. We've all had breakthroughs. It's been wonderful. And I hope you guys can take something significantly educational away. I would drop out of college and just study the recording of this has been more of a doctrine than a panel. And really, panels are wonderful. Most of the world's problems are solved through panel discussions. And I think we've put a significant dent today through this discussion in the world's greatest problems, really. I mean, wars, illiteracy, violence, veganism. I think we've all made a big difference today. So let's give it a round of applause for these guys, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you. And please, a round of applause.
I couldn't. Yes. A little louder. That was actually pathetic. A little louder. Wow.
Yes.
I didn't expect that. That is beautiful. Thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you.